Hi, my name's Sarah, and this is my sister Katie.
And we just want to remind everybody that girls like rock too.
This year marks 25 years of Kid A.
Kid A.
Radiohead's groundbreaking album. And in the last couple of years, I have really got back into the music that I was into as a teen. And that's a big part of this podcast, why Katie and I started that this year. Nostalgia, exactly. And Radiohead were a band that were always around in our music atmosphere growing up. They were just there.
Yeah.
And I've been thinking a lot about Radiohead in the last few weeks. And
Why?
Well,
sorry, that sounds so insulting to Radiohead. Sorry, no, go.
A big reason. I don't know if you heard Radiohead have announced that they're doing a tour.
I think I only heard that because you told me.
Okay, so
but yes, I heard. Sorry,
it's been almost a decade since they've toured, and they're doing 4 nights in London, and they're also going to a couple of cities, places in Europe. I think Denmark, Germany, Italy, and Spain.
I'm sure it'll do well.
Oh yeah,
I'm
sure.
Oh
yeah. And there's whispers that they're going to do an international tour next year.
Again, I think that would do well.
I think it would do well. Yeah. I hope they do, because I'm like, I think that would be really cool to go see Radiohead.
Be an experience.
It would be an experience, and almost kind of romantic to go see Radiohead. I don't know. So I hope they come to North America.
Did you ever in the past, because I know in high school you were a big Radiohead fan, did you ever try to get tickets to any of their shows or no?
No. The last time they came to Toronto, I think it was 2018. I wasn't really into this music at that time. And actually, back in 2012, they came and they were playing Downsview. Oh. And there was a structural problem with the stage. And one of their tech died from an accident.
I think I do remember that headline. Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah, needless to say, I think for Radiohead, I'm sure thinking of Toronto, you can't help but think of that. So
yeah, triggering. Yeah.
But they did come again in 2018, and I think they did something to commemorate the poor man that happened to. So I hope they do come to Toronto, but I understand the triggering
effect of possibly going back. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, so hopefully they do, but I'm sure it's an emotional experience for them to come back to Toronto. But 25 years of Kid A, and it hit me this year. I'm like, wow, I'm old. I am not 25.
No.
As shocking as that may seem.
I was not born the year Kid A came out.
No, I'm older than Pablo Honey. I'll put it out there.
Pablo Honey was 93?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But anyways, I was 15 when Kid A came out. So I was like one of the target groups probably for an album such as Kid A. And it was just it was a shift. It marked a shift for Radiohead. Kid A.
Yeah.
It was just so different from what they did before. And also a shift in terms of music industry. And I wanted to talk about today, I told Katie I'd like to do a whole episode about Kid A, because the impact it had on Radiohead's career and also music at that time.
Oh, yeah.
And I just think it deserves, whether you like Kid A or not, and I understand Kid A, it's not for everyone. I don't find
it I was going to say listener friendly. It's different.
It's different. Well, it challenges you as a listener.
Yeah.
Kid A.
It does.
And that's a part of it. And so I understand if people are like, I'm not really into it. It's not for me. That's totally understandable. But the impact it had within music at that time, you can't deny.
No. And so this is what fascinates me about Radiohead. So they come out with Pablo Honey.
Yeah.
Creep's a big single. It's a pretty radio friendly alternative rock single.
Yep.
Then they're like, okay, well, let's be a little bit different. So then they come out with the Bends.
Yep.
It was a bit different, but still like
guitar heavy.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it pop, but Fake Plastic Trees, you can sing along to it.
Yep.
High and Dry, you can sing along to it. Then they're like, okay, well, let's be a little bit different. So Computer.
Yep.
A little bit different. You got Karma Police, no surprises, but you can still listen to it. Then they're like, you know what? like, F this crap. We're going to go like totally out there. And remember, this is 2000. This is when Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, boy bands were really rocking and dominating the charts. So, you know what? I have so much respect for Radiohead because they're like, we're going to go the total opposite of this bubblegum pop, and we're going to bring out something completely different from anything we've ever done.
Exactly. And I was going to give a bit of context for this album, and you totally did it. Because there was hesitancy about OK Computer, but OK Computer did commercially quite well.
It did.
And after the success of OK Computer, Radiohead were overwhelmed.
Yeah.
They were overwhelmed with touring and the fame. And we've talked about this before. This must be such a mind F for someone, because all these bands that we talk about they lived normal, regular lives as kids. There was no nepotism. I'll give all these bands that.
No, not the ones you've talked about. No.
And then all of a sudden you explode. You're huge, fame, money, all of that. That must just be so much for someone.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a lot for Radiohead, especially Tom York. And he mentioned that, where with Kid A, I think he said something, I won't quote it, but something like, I wanted to make something that was completely unexpected and completely 180 from what we've done before.
And he hit the mark.
And he hit it.
Kid A.
He did it. And there was a little bit of tension with the band because the rest of the band wanted to do more of a rock album.
Yeah.
But Tom was like, no, I want to go full blown, totally out there.
Yeah.
And it works with Kid A.
Yeah.
It really does. I bought Kid A.
Yeah, I remember. Oh, yeah, you bought it right when it came out.
Yep. Right when it came out. I'm one of those. And I haven't listened to Kid A in like 10, 20 years.
Yeah.
So in the last few weeks, I put it on again to celebrate 25 years of Kid A. And I'm like, am I going to be into this? Am I going to know this? And Katie, I listened to it in its entirety a couple of times on my commutes to work. I knew like every song.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's funny because a lot of these bands and albums that we talk about on this podcast, I'm like, oh, I guess I did listen to it more than I thought I would.
I think I'd even recognize songs on it just from you listening to it.
Yeah.
In high school.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
I played it a lot.
I still remember that album that single.
Yeah.
I remember the video even. It was just all out there.
Yeah. They went completely out there.
Yeah.
And again, Radiohead are such a fascinating band.
Oh, yeah.
Commercially, this did extremely well.
Yeah.
This made them, OK Computer was big, but Kid A made them global rock stars.
Yeah.
And it made Tom York, I don't want to say a household name, but
getting there.
Getting there. And if you were with a few people that knew a little bit about music, you knew who Tom York was. You can picture him in your head, Tom York.
Oh, man, it's so funny, too. Like, I remember in grade 12, so this would have been 2004, so 4 years after Kid A came out, probably after Amnesiac.
Amnesiac was like 2001. They did that right after. Yeah.
And I remember hanging out with some musicians. Now, by musicians, I mean like high school musicians. Oh. You know, they had a band, and them discussing how bad Pablo Honey is and how Kid A and Amnesiac are just so much better. And it just,
I don't agree with that statement. I do like pre-Kid A Radiohead.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I'm an OK Computer girl.
That's a good album.
That is a phenomenal album.
Yeah. Karma Police and No Surprises.
I was listening to that again as a whole. That's a great album.
I think The Benz is good.
The Benz is a good album too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is. But yeah, there's just something so striking about Kid A.
Yeah.
And it debuted at number 1 in the UK.
Still.
And in the UK, it sold like 55,000 copies on its first day.
Wow.
Yeah. And get this, it debuted at number 1 in the US too on the Billboard charts.
That's impressive. That's really impressive.
Because you got to think of the year 2000.
Yep.
And we were talking about that in our episode about Tragic Kingdom. What was big at that time? Bubblegum pop. And nothing against bubblegum pop, but it could get kind of annoying at times.
Well, it's kind of crazy that the US Billboard 200, No Doubt's 2000 album Return of Saturn debuted number 2 behind NSYNC. But then you have Radiohead debuting at number 1. Like, I think that's impressive for the band.
It is. Yeah. It is. Especially when you listen to Kid A. But I think what's cool about Kid A is there are some musical communities that would say Kid A is very mainstream. But it brought this alternative ambient sound into the mainstream.
Yeah.
and it really expanded what you could do with rock music.
Yes.
And in the year 2000, you kind of had two directions. And I'm talking, Katie and I were teenagers when this was out, right? So you had bubblegum pop, NSYNC, Britney Spears, very predictable in their music. Not that I'm slamming it. They have some good tunes, but that was big and it got annoying. Yeah. But the other route was like Limp Bizkit and Linkin Park, which I wasn't into. I will give them that they were playing with the sound of rock and what rock could do. I will give them that. I wasn't into it, but hip hop elements of and the new metal genre. So what Radiohead did for us alternative dorks is it was this other, it filled kind of a void of that. Yep. And I think that is just really impressive, and it shows the loyalty of fans of Radiohead coming to number one. Like, I bought that album. Kid A, there was no singles.
No?
So, no. That's another cool thing about Kid A.
I thought Optimistic was a single.
No singles. So, Kid A
have a video?
was...
Did I pull that out of my butt?
You might have pulled it out of your butt, but... the thing with
YouTube that.
Kid A, no singles. What they did was they did little clips of things.
Okay, that must
and
be because I remember
released it out online.
Okay.
And no singles, limited interviews.
Okay.
And a really cool thing with Kid A is when it was released, and we all know if you are 35 plus, you went out, you bought the album, and the exciting thing is when you opened up your CD case, it was the little pamphlet.
Oh yeah, all the
album
pictures,
cover.
possibly lyrics.
Yeah. No lyrics on this one.
Okay.
They didn't do any lyrics, not surprising because it's Radiohead and it's Kid A. But in 2000, you couldn't just Google the lyrics.
No.
So no lyrics. What Tom York wanted to do was, Tom York sings in his own unique, beautiful way. I think I love it. But sometimes you don't know all the words, how he's singing. And he's like, I want people to interpret it the way they want to interpret it.
Yeah.
And I always thought optimistic. I thought the words were this world's optimistic.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. What is it?
This one's optimistic.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
Yeah. But the thing is, in terms of like just maybe the tragic hopefulness of capitalism, that's what it kind of optimistic is about. A lot of this music is about. It works as this world's optimistic.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
That makes sense too, right? Yeah. So I just thought that was really cool.
Yeah. And just talking about the language thing too, I just find Radiohead, again, I don't dislike Britney Spears or Jessica Simpson and all these pop people, but it did get annoying. Yeah. So what I liked about Radiohead is it brought some of this indie rock back, and you talking about language makes me think. Remember Sigur Rós?
Oh yeah.
They actually came out with their own language.
I bought that album.
Yeah.
Yeah, that came out around this time.
And then I think about bands like Modest Mouse.
Yep.
I don't know if they'd be exactly like Radiohead, but kind of that they got big too, right?
Well, what Kid A did was it opened up this stream of it was cool because Kid A, yes, it's more accessible ambient music, but it got into the charts, and it allowed for other bands to expand the rock music genre. Yep. It really did. And you had bands such as Modest Mouse that could play around with this different music. And it's just phenomenal what Kid A did because
it really
it's
did
so
a lot for
out
the music.
there. It did.
The music scene.
And for Radiohead, I mean, they've had an extremely impressive career. A unique element of Kid A is, and I mentioned this, no singles.
Yep.
No singles and not a lot of promotion for it.
No, like they didn't do an intimate and interactive with much music.
No, they did not. No, they didn't do anything. Tom York just totally wanted to not do any of that. He was sick of it.
Kudos to him. Irony though, eh? He's sick of it, and yet it debuts at number one.
I know. I know. Well, the thing is,
funny how that works.
It is funny. Although he has said years later he kind of regrets that, but it worked, right?
It worked at the time.
Exactly. It did work at the time, and 2000 was such an interesting time for music with everything going on that we talked about. Also, the rise of streaming.
Yeah,
and
Napster.
And Radiohead, they were kind of ahead of their time because they embraced the streaming because this was leaked before.
Oh, was it?
Online.
Okay.
And like...
Remember that albums got leaked and record labels would just be PO'd.
And it was like, oh my God. Yeah. So with Napster, but like I said, Radiohead weren't one of those where it's like, it's almost like they saw this, and they were like, yeah, this is the future. This is what's going to be, I don't know, more convenient for fans, which as a fan, a teenager making minimum wage, paying $20 for an album, I kind of appreciated, because it was so expensive buying albums.
How many times did we buy albums and like 80% of it was filler?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like Radiohead were kind of like, because one of their albums later, they only released it online and kind of like a pay what you can.
Oh,
now Radiohead could do that because they have the
established
financial,
themselves.
They've established themselves. They have the resources, the backing, and Radiohead. There was some back in the day, some band said something like, "Oh, Tom York could fart in a bag and I'd buy it." Like they're just so huge, right?
Yeah,
they could do anything at this point. But anyways, I still thought that was cool.
Yeah.
And going on to the no singles thing, it has been noted in a lot of articles about Kid A that you have to experience it as a whole. Like it works as a whole. Yeah. There's a great flow. I agree with that. I don't disagree with that. It does work as an album, and it's an experience all on its own together. But I think the cool thing about Radiohead is there are clearly some songs. I think there's some songs on Kid A that work on their own. I don't think you necessarily have to appreciate the whole album together. And with the no singles, Radiohead kind of did like a double cheekiness, because they're like, we're not going to release singles. And remember, this is 2000 when singles were really important. You had to have a single on the radio with the video on Much Music or MTV if you weren't in Canada. No singles, but there's songs on the album that are clearly singles.
Yeah, which ones would you say?
Optimistic.
Yeah.
Idiotech.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, and maybe the national anthem. And like, so it's like cheekiness of Radiohead to be like, we're not going to do singles, but we know there's some songs on here that would do really well as singles.
Yeah.
And my favorite song on Kid A, and if you're a Radiohead snob, you're going to roll your eyes at me, is Optimistic.
It's a good song.
It's a great song, and it is guitar heavy. So it does trace back to their roots of OK Computer. But as I mentioned, in the end of the day, I love guitars. And so I love OK Computer. And I like that kind of going back to, they didn't lose their roots, Radiohead.
No. And it's almost kind of like bongo drums.
There's everything. Like there's everything. Yeah, it's a great song.
And it's a different song.
It is, but it works as a song.
No, it does.
And it would have done well as a single.
Yeah.
And it's just such great. Tom York's beautiful voice, the guitar heavy, but also has those Kid A out there elements.
Yeah.
It's a banger. Optimistic. And again, Optimistic and Idiotech, I think they would have done really well as singles commercially, but they didn't. Like, so I love that about Radiohead. They're like, we're going to make 2 single worthy songs on here, but screw all of you. We're just going to have it as an album. I just think that's so cool.
Yeah.
And Kid A, I have a new appreciation for Kid A now, 25 years later. I think it still stands up, and it's just amazing what it did for the music industry, everything that we've mentioned today.
Yeah.
I think it's great. And a lot of the themes of it, alienation, the kind of downfall of capitalism, and where we're going digitally, still resonates today.
Yeah.
This one's optimistic, and as I mentioned, this world's optimistic kind of makes sense too.
Yeah.
With it, right?
Yeah.
So I've enjoyed listening to it again. If you are like me and it's been a while since you've listened to Kid A, I highly encourage you to give it a listen, because it's a great album.
And I still remember the cover, even with that funny little icon.
Yeah, well, it's like mountains.
Oh,
kind of.
Okay.
And one of the, like a commentary on climate change. Still resonates today. And I'm sorry, I don't remember the artist. They've worked with this artist before. And so Tom York and this artist worked together to do the art. And the cover is iconic now at this point.
I remember it.
It's just so out there, but it works.
How old would Tom York have been? How old is he? Because I mean, Pablo Honey was 93, so this was 7 years later. So,
yeah, Tom York is probably close. He's probably the same age as like Noel Gallagher. He's probably in his late 50s, so he would have been 30.
Yeah.
So
just interesting to think.
Definitely. These young men just thinking about all of this and working it out musically. Pitchfork. I don't know if you know Pitchfork. They do.
Yeah, I'm aware.
You're aware of Pitchfork. I find Pitchfork can be a bit shishy poo poo in their reviews, but they gave Kid A like a 10 out of 10. They really liked it.
I could see that.
Not surprising. Yeah. But they mentioned, quote, Kid A is experimental yet familiar. And I found that as a teen, kind of a dorky introvert teen, I really liked Kid A. And I think I liked that outsider vibes. And if you were kind of a dorky teenager, outsider vibes, you were probably into it as well. Right? Like one song, like
just knowing
everything
you in high
in
school.
everything in its right place, how to disappear completely. It just speaks to you if you were like that, right?
Yeah.
So I thought it was really cool. Opposed to this bubblegum pop.
Post a picture of you from high school.
I could. Yeah.
Do it.
And so this Kid A is comfortable in its chaos and uncomfortableness.
Yeah.
And that's what I really liked. And I'm speaking as a 15-year-old when Kid A came out.
Yeah.
I just thought it was like the coolest thing, and I legit enjoyed it, and I don't think it was pretentious or anything at all from Radiohead to bring this out. I think they were totally legit and genuine.
I think for sure
in their delivery of this.
I agree.
And it's a great album from a great band.
Yeah.
So let us know in the comments, what do you think of Kid A? Have you listened to it recently? What are the gems for you on the album? Do you think it works? Are there singles that work for you, or do you think you got to listen to it all together? I'd love to know what you think. 25 years on, does it still hold up for you? Thanks so much for listening. Katie and I really appreciate your time and your comments and your likes. We post a new full episode every other Friday. The podcast is currently available on Spotify and YouTube.
And we just want to remind everybody that
Girls like rock too.
And don't forget to hit subscribe.